Hi, you're watching the Young Female Entrepreneur. Let me start over. Hi, you're watching the Young Female Entrepreneurs live stream that happens every Thursday night here at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern at ovaleye.tv/live. Tonight's episode is brought to you by ovaleye.com. Ovaleye, where we empower your home office lifestyle through web hosting, cloud services, and domain names. Visit ovaleye.com to buy your domain today. And by audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/ovaleye. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Hi, my name's Jennifer Dono. I am the host of this evening's live stream. You're watching Young Female Entrepreneurs. It's episode 22. And tonight we're actually going to be featuring two guests. They are the founders of Made Woman magazine, Serena Watson and Lindsey. And I'll go ahead and... they're doing actually a lot of really awesome things over at this magazine. And I'm totally messing up with the slides. Here we go. See how fancy I am with my little TV in the background? So they're doing some really cool things over there, and they're going to be talking to us about what it takes to be putting together a publication like Made Woman magazine online. They're going to be talking about living in Southern California, being two young female founders. They're going to be talking about running a team and what it takes to be getting content up online like that. They're also running an Indiegogo campaign, which is huge. I mean, lots of people are doing this. It's very hard to be successful, and they're doing an awesome job at it. They've raised $1,266 to date, which is awesome. They've got 13 days left to go, and so we're going to be talking about what it means to run that. And then finally, we'll just finish it up with some fun little tips and get to know them a little bit better, because it's a great resource that all of you young female entrepreneurs that are watching tonight you're going to love it. I love it. So I'm on Twitter tonight. I am also going to be on the chat once I introduce them in. I wanted to play you a quick video though before, so I'm not going to be on the chat for the next few minutes. If you are on the chat, make sure that you introduce yourself and get to know some of the other young female entrepreneurs that have come out this evening. So before I talk too much more about the amazing Made Woman magazine women, I wanted to talk about a little bit of what's going on here at Young Female Entrepreneurs. We've got some cool things going. So like I said, I am on Twitter right now. The hashtag for this evening's live stream is YFETV. So feel free to tweet in. Also, make sure that you like us on Facebook if you haven't yet, because we definitely keep in touch that way. And it's just a nice way for me to find out more about your company and how we can feature you on YFETV and how we can kind of connect everyone's brands. But the big thing here tonight, the very, very biggest news about YFE is that we have the iTunes podcast that's up now. So all of the past 21 episodes are now available on iTunes, and that is probably the worst photo of me on the profile pic. I promise that will be changing to something more professional, but I really just wanted to make sure that I got all those episodes up for you guys. So if you're going on vacation, you can hear. Last week, Nicole and Donnery, they were on. They talked about blogging, tips about getting started, how to make money doing what you love. And so you can take that episode on a road trip or vacation with you this weekend, which is awesome. But I wanted to ask you guys, I'll make sure that I include the link somewhere within this live stream, on YouTube, on the shows, wherever you're watching this video. If you can subscribe and then like or comment, do something to the iTunes podcast, just so that we can spread the word about YFE and the amazing women that are featured on the podcast. It's always nice to kind of, I guess, crowdsource an audience, really. Helping each other grow each other's business is always really nice. Finally, you can watch past shows on YouTube, and then getting into some of the cool things that's happening, like the actual events that you could attend and meet other young female entrepreneurs. We've got Erin of Well in LA. She's hosting these amazing meetups in Los Angeles. So if you're in the LA area, she just hosted one, I think last week, and it went phenomenal. Here you can see lovejanephoto.com. She was one of the sponsors. She took photos. They had a little photo booth and had some fun. So yeah, you can see Erin there being goofy, but she's got another one in September, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to spill the date yet or not, but I'll do it, and if I'm wrong, then I will comment somewhere on here. But it's September 13th, so if you're in the LA area, make sure you go to that one. Make sure it's on your calendar, and you'll find out next week why I want you to be at that one. If no other one, I want you to be at the September 13th one. So online, we've got the YFE chat that's happening on Tuesday, July 31st at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 Eastern. And it's all about getting in the right mindset for doing business, mindset and motivation. And Twitter chats are always well attended. It's a great way to meet other young women online, because you can actually stay connected with them after the chat, and you can share contacts, you can share resources, all sorts of great things. So I talked really fast. This is what I do all the time for the first 5 minutes of YFE. I need to figure out a way so I can break it up so I don't talk so much for the first 5 minutes. Anyway, let's go ahead and find out a little bit more about Made Woman magazine. Our guests for the next 20 or so minutes are going to be telling you, it's going to be a tell-all about how they started their company and where it's going. So let's go ahead and find out more about them.
Listen, baby, take a seat, have a drink, it's on me. We've been deep in the trenches, you never left me.
I'm a made woman because I get the job done with style.
Cheers to you, you're the shit, no one better than you. A toast to you, I'm okay, but
I'm a made woman because I create my own destiny.
you never lost faith in me. You never lost faith in me.
I am a made woman because I know giving back to the community makes me better.
You never lost faith in me. You never lost faith in me.
I'm a made woman because I beat the boys at their own game.
For these women and many more, there's only one magazine, Made Woman Magazine. Join the network now.
So that was just a quick little sneak peek of what it is that MadeWomanMagazine.com is. So I'm going to go ahead and, without further ado, introduce you to the two incredible founders that we've been talking about so much this evening, Serena Watson and Lindsey Day. Welcome on to YFE TV.
Thank
you.
Thank you so much for being on. So I mentioned a little bit at the beginning that you're both USC grads and that you are out of Southern California. Well, you were, I guess. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. But why don't you both, let's start with Lindsey. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Hi, so I'm Lindsey Day. I'm the co-founder of Made Woman Magazine, also act as the business manager. So I handle the business end of the magazine. You know, all the gory details I'll keep to myself, but generally, you know, setting up the business, keeping it running smoothly, you know, liaising with Serena on the content side. At this point, we wear a lot of hats, so I won't go into too much detail, but originally from Sacramento, went to USC, and that's where Serena and I met, and the rest is history, I guess.
And tell them where you're Skyping from, Lindsey.
And I'm Skyping from London tonight. Tonight for me, it's, or morning, 2 a.m. So, yeah.
Crazy. So is London just absolutely insane right now?
It actually wasn't as bad as I expected. I was really expecting, like, you know, craziness, but the tube and whatever they call it, the tube, wasn't too bad today.
Oh, good.
So, yeah. And the weather's beautiful. I've been told it was raining, and it was, like, in the 80s today. So
Nice.
I lucked out.
You did. All right. So Serena, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yes. Well, my name is Serena Watson. I'm editor-in-chief of Made Woman Magazine. I'm originally from the Inland Empire, and right now I live in Los Angeles. So basically, I manage the content side of the magazine. I work with all of our very talented writers to put out the content every other week. So that's me.
Very nice. So let's hear just a little bit more, because I mean, I've been saying that Made Woman Magazine is a great resource for young female entrepreneurs, but tell us exactly what it is and why you started it, really.
Well, basically, Made Woman Magazine is it's a magazine. We offer content, but it's also a platform. We wanted to provide young female entrepreneurs and business professionals a place where they can come, discuss ideas, and be real with each other, be honest with each other. So you might notice that our content has a tone that's very different than other things out there. While we do discuss professional topics, we talk to each other like friend to friend. And so that's what kind of makes us unique. But we also want to offer very valuable resources. So eventually we're going to have a networking platform and job search functionality. That's part of the reason why we're doing the whole Indiegogo campaign. So we're very focused on making it a useful but entertaining website.
Awesome. So now the both of you, we were saying, graduated from USC. So how did you actually meet, and how did this partnership form?
We actually met back in 2003 now. Serena was actually one of the first people I met at orientation. And
cute.
yeah, our little set, well, I think I was 17 at the time. So, yeah. And we exchanged numbers, and over the years, we just became close over, crazy double dates and, just, college experiences, and just became really great friends. So once we graduated, we kind of entered the workforce, and we discussed starting a business and wanting something that was, ours. And from kind of looking around at the women that we worked with and just all the amazing people we came in contact with, we just thought it would be a great idea to figure out a way to connect all these women and, be able to utilize each other's resources for the betterment of all of us. So, Serena and I, we kind of balanced each other out in a sense. I studied business in school. She studied communications. And so for a magazine, it's perfect. She always, we have, banter back and forth, and it's great to have someone that, your unique skills kind of come together and create, a whole in a sense. So it's been a great partnership thus far.
That's so funny. I know I was looking at your bios and I thought, oh, that's, it was destined that you majored in business and you majored in communications. I mean, that's awesome. So you touched a little bit on the content and how it's not, strictly business type stuff. It's fun. It's talking to your girlfriend type of content. So how do you decide on what actually gets published and how often you publish?
That's a good question. A lot of the ideas for our content come out of just conversation amongst our friends and our writers. So generally, we'll just have a discussion amongst ourselves, and topics will come up, hot topics, and we kind of brainstorm, put together a list, kind of go over what we think is feasible based on, seasonal content, things like that. And then we get together, our issue for every other week. We put out an issue every other Monday. Wow. And right, I know, it's a lot. But we determined that because, it's online, it's fast-paced, and we definitely we're not the breaking news destination, so we decided every other week would be good to stay relevant. But also, Lindsey and I work, we work full-time jobs as well. So that was taken into consideration too. We don't want to get overwhelmed with work-life balance, right? Yeah. So we decided every other Monday was a good publishing deadline. But yeah, so really, it's really interesting how the topics come up because it'll be someone talking about how she wants to break up with her boyfriend, or how she's looking for a job, right? How she's looking for a job but is having no success with that. So then we'll go, well, this could be a great idea for our next issue, and it's very organic.
Well, okay, so what if someone that's watching, if you look at it, one of my favorite pieces is the profiles that you do on professional women. What if someone's interested in being profiled in your magazine? What would she need to do to be featured? Or maybe even to contribute?
Well, that's great. You just will reach out to one of us. Our emails are on the website and on our Facebook and Twitter, or there's the info@madewomanmag email address, and you just tell us a little bit about yourself, what you're working towards. We always strive to find entrepreneurs, but we definitely spotlight just working women as well. And we also have spotlights on young up-and-comers. We did a profile on a young reporter who's just getting her break and things like that. So just reach out, and Lindsey and I kind of determine that that amongst ourselves and decide who the next Made Woman of the Month will be.
Oh, very fun. So now you talked a little bit about how you have writers that are working with you now, and we'll talk about your team in just a little bit. But as far as your business model goes, I mean, it sounds like a lot of overhead. That do you have to pay your writers? What's your business model, and how, if so, how has it changed over time since launching Made Woman magazine?
Well, overall, our business model has always been based around creating useful tools for our audience. So, the main thing is keeping to our mission of connecting women with other like-minded professionals. So, right now, in our first couple of years, the main goal was providing quality content, building trust with our reader, making sure we had that solid foundation to build from, and then monetizing through advertisements and eventually offering premium content, providing these tools and that type of thing. So it's all been, it all surrounds our mission, our core goal of helping the young professional woman. So it hasn't changed in the sense of the essence of it, but as time goes on and we get feedback from our writers, our team, and also our audience, we take all of that into account in terms of what we are going to roll out next, for example.
Okay, so you generate revenue primarily based off of advertisements that are on the actual website?
Right.
Okay.
Advertisements, yes. And then eventually, part of our Indiegogo campaign is to set up events and seminars and stuff. I don't know if you wanted to talk a little bit more about that, but
right.
We wanted to take a lot of the usefulness and a lot of the ideas on connecting into the real world and provide real life experiences for these made women to meet up and really advance themselves at these events. So we're going to get into seminars, networking events. That's all coming soon.
So
right.
Now let's go ahead and talk about Indiegogo. So you're asking for $5,000. So you talked a little bit about how networking events, resources, connecting women. What are if you don't mind saying, what's the $5,000 going towards? What are people getting when they fund your project?
Well, in addition to our perks that you can see on the Indiegogo campaign page, if you contribute to the Indiegogo campaign, you're contributing to us, our furtherment of connecting, young professional women. So right now, everything you see on the site is 100% funded by Serena and myself. So, from our 9-to-5 jobs and our would-be shoe fund, for example, we're taking that money and putting it into this. So this is like our passion project. This is our, the thing that, in turn motivates us because we've been able to be put in touch with so many amazing people. But in terms of the $5,000, this is just to roll out the next phase of the site and to establish the networking platform portion. So our next big project is rolling out a networking calendar. And so that will be something that you can come check out, take a look and see what's in your area. Come, before we have our own events, for example, somewhere you can come and find out where's the hottest event where you can connect with like-minded women in LA and
Made Woman approved
beyond. Right, Made Woman approved. So, and you can also submit events, and we'll be able to, just build that network. It's always been our plan to really solidify the content side and to really provide value in that sense and then expand from there. So that's the next phase. The networking calendar is part of it. We also eventually want to get into, mentorship matches and job search functionality. And, we've already had some interest in people reaching out, let us know if you need mentors. So it's just, cultivating the networking aspect of the site is what the $5,000 will go toward.
So now we had Catherine Minshew of the Daily Muse. I'm not sure if you ladies have checked it out yet, but thedailymuse.com, and it's kind of a similar site, similar idea, similar mission, but very, very different voice. Now, as far as, other sites like that are geared towards the professional young woman, what is it that sets you apart, that makes you different from some of these other sites like the Levo League? Or I never know if I'm saying that correctly, but I think I am. The Levo League?
I think that's right.
Okay.
I think that's right.
So what sets you apart?
Yeah, I think like you hit the nail on the head. I think it's definitely the tone. I mean, you come to Made Woman Mag and we're very like in your face, We know that women want to be entertained and while being informed, and we don't think you have to be bored while you're learning about all these interesting and important facts. So we definitely set a tone from the beginning of, like I said, friend to friend, useful information, but definitely a spoonful of sugar along with the pill.
Sugar-coated. I like it.
Yeah. So, and we also take a tone of very prideful, in everything we do. A lot of times you see women kind of shrink back in the workplace and just in their professional lives. They aren't too boastful. But we decided that, there's a time, time is now for us to kind of put this prideful face forward and show the world what we're all about. So that's definitely unique to Made Woman, I think.
I do too. I like the voice.
Thank you. And just to take that a little bit further, we work with women from all backgrounds. And, we have people who are professionals in various industries that contribute to the site, from various cultures, various cities and countries. And, so to me, it's a melting pot in a sense of all these amazing women. And there's so many amazing women out there, and it's not just one type of woman. It's not just Asian or black or white or, you know what I mean? So it's just, we wanted a place that everyone could feel welcome and feel like, oh, okay, I read this article and it resonates with me. It fits, it makes sense. I understand it. Maybe every article isn't for you, but there will be something for you.
Yeah, for sure. So now, as far as Indiegogo goes, I've met a couple women that have used Kickstarter. I actually am going to try and get one on as a guest who raised $15,000, and her story was incredible. I heard it here in the Seattle area at one of the Crave events, and her story was that she'd go to the grocery store and turn around to the person behind her and say, hey, I've got a Kickstarter campaign going on. Can I give you this card? She was selling yoga pants, and she raised above $15,000, but she said it was the most stressful 30 days of her entire life. So tell us a little bit about why you chose to use Indiegogo.
Well, we did look at Kickstarter.
Let's see if we can get that back up. You are watching a live stream. Which I'm on the chat, by the way. If you have questions, definitely Skype or chat in and let me know. Let me pull it up here. Here you can see it. So right now...
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yay!
Oh, yay! Great. So I was saying Kickstarter is a great site, and a lot of people have found success, but it just didn't really suit us and our purposes. We're a small business. It is we are going to eventually make money, so it wasn't suiting us and our purpose. Also, you don't get all of the money if you don't hit your goal, so that was definitely a consideration as well.
Okay, wait, so that's different. In Indiegogo, you actually get the money that you raise regardless of whether or not you hit your goal?
Yeah, you can choose that option.
Oh, wow.
That's what you want to do. Yeah. So that's definitely a selling point for Indiegogo. But yeah, a lot of people have found success on Indiegogo as well. So we like it. The functionality is great and it's pretty straightforward. So also the application process was a lot shorter for Indiegogo. We were up and running within a day, but Kickstarter takes a lot longer.
Oh wow! So how long does it take with Kickstarter? I'm not very familiar with any of that.
Well, the application in and of itself is way longer. Lindsey, do you remember how many questions it was? It was like...
probably at least 6 or 7, I would say.
Okay.
At least.
And then they have to review you and all that, and so you could get denied from being on Kickstarter. Indiegogo is very open. They don't have that issue, but you will see some other projects on there that are kind of like, okay, what is that? But since it is so much more open, but for us and our purposes, it was a better fit.
Huh. That's interesting. So Serena, just to let you know, we can't see you. You're not on the video.
I No
I didn't
lie.
want to interrupt you when you were talking, but let me know if you want to hang up and recall in and see if your video will pop in there. Because I have another question as far as the campaign goes with the video component of it. I mean, the video that we played before this, in case you guys didn't know when you were watching it, I only played about a minute of it, and it's a 5-minute video that's really nicely produced. I mean, I've got a couple pictures here of some of the behind the scenes that were on Indiegogo. And I mean, it's a pretty big deal. So how did that go about? Did you hire someone out for it? Did you have a friend? What was that process?
Yes. Well, the process was kind of, we started off, we were going to do just kind of like an EPK type video, who are we, you know, about us video. But then we were just kind of talking about it, and we were like, you know what, this is our one shot to make a calling card for Made Woman Mag. And, you know, like I said, we're always boastful. We're always taking pride in everything we do. And I was actually a film minor at USC, and, you know, film, it's a great film school and everything. So I was like, you know what, why not go all out on this project and really produce something excellent that lives up to what our site is. So our director, we found Trey. He has, you know, a whole portfolio of experience. He did a wonderful job of working with us and really making our vision come to life. And it was very important for us to showcase real women, just like we do on the site in this video, and really show real women in their natural environments, doing their thing, looking great, and saying why they're made women. And, you know, the women in the video are just, oh my gosh, so wonderful. They were so great on set, and doing their thing in their profession, so that, you know, they're helping us with our Indiegogo campaign now, and really they were the perfect picks, you know what I mean?
No, I thought they were awesome. Now, are these women that you knew beforehand, or did you approach them saying saying who you are and what you're doing?
Yeah, we knew all of them beforehand.
Oh, cool.
It's funny because Rachel is the young lady with the kids, the dance instructor. She was my former roommate. So, yeah, and she's like a
That's
professional
awesome.
dancer. Yeah, she's a professional dancer, traveling the world, doing her thing. And then Eve Torres also went to USC. She was a roommate of another friend of ours. And, you know, I used to have dinner at her house. Like, it's crazy. And then Jay-Z's a friend, you know, just all friends. Allison, we knew, and everything. So it came together in such a perfect
Jay-Z's
way.
also a Trojan.
Right. The Trojan Network is really working for us, let me tell you. But yeah, so all of the women, you know, like I was saying, they're just so talented. They're doing their thing, and we had profiled Eve and Allison on the site already, so it just made sense for them to be in the video.
Very cool. Now, I mean, you just talked about your alumni network. So USC, around here at least, it feels like there is a lot of USC alumni, alumni. But so it's a very tight group. Can you tell us about how that's benefited you? If it's, if any way it's affected, maybe given a start to Made Women Magazine, and that you have all of these great connections?
Yeah, I mean, one of the first things you hear when you go to USC is the Trojan family. And, you know, it really is it's a real thing. As a student, you just come in contact with such amazing classmates, and the faculty is amazing. Everyone's so helpful. And just being surrounded by such bright, motivated people. It seems like, I don't know if it's the LA thing or what, but everyone seems to come with like a mission and a plan, and okay, I'm doing this. So, you know, once you graduate, and, you know, a lot of people stay in the area as well, or are from the area originally. So, you know, it's like my family, my literal family now, you know, just having lived there, you know, 9 years now. A lot of my best friends are from, you know, USC, and you're just able to tap into that network so much. I mean, we have over 20 writers. A good portion of them are from USC.
Wow.
Either we met through USC people, or we met at USC. But yeah, it's definitely a strong influence and had a strong impact. I mean, two of 4 women in the video were from there, and the producer was and director was from USC as well. So yeah, it's
So college has done you good.
It has.
I think that conversation came up in the last month because Peter Thiel of PayPal kind of whatever infamy, he's starting up his program, and so the question has come up again. You know, is college really worth it for entrepreneurs? And it sounds like for you that it definitely was worth it. So that's great. I mean, that's a great reminder for people that going to university, you get all of that. You get all the wealth of what the network brings, is what I'm trying to say. So we're just going to wrap up quickly. But before we go, I wanted to get a couple tips from you guys. So doing an online publication like this, like you said, every couple of weeks you've got a new issue coming out. You have these big profiles. I mean, this is quality content. It's not like some little blog that you guys are pushing out.
Thanks.
So with that in mind, what are some things that you feel like if another young woman is trying to do this, maybe not in the same sphere that you're doing it in, but maybe she wants to write a publication about cooking or about yoga or something like that, what tips would you give her?
Use
that's
Google.
a great question.
Google everything.
Google everything.
That's a great point. No, Lindsey and I had to teach ourselves so much. I mean, from the technical side of just developing a website to, how to get your content out there, how to do social media. So definitely teach yourself, everything you need to know. You don't have to wait for someone to teach you. But also definitely define yourself and, find what makes you different and will help you stand out. The internet is a very big place. You can't, if you want to go out there and just write about cooking for the sake of cooking, that's great. But if you want to be, an entrepreneur and make money off of it, you definitely have to find your unique selling point and really focus and hone in on that. So that would be my advice.
Very good tip. And Lindsey, do you have any advice that you want to leave people with?
I would say to seek out mentors or seek out people who have been there and that can, give you some advice from, so that you don't always have to make the mistake yourself. And so that you can, someone who's been there and has gone through some of these things. It might be a little bit tougher sometimes in new arenas. This is online magazines are relatively, new compared to other businesses in the world. But, the people are out there and just try to find people who have some knowledge that they can impart in you and, carry on the cycle. Mentorship is important both ways. So that would be my main thing.
Okay, before we leave, Mary, who's in the chat, has a great question. I should have asked this at the beginning. Lindsey, why are you in London?
Well, I don't know the simple way to answer that. Just doing some traveling. I'm actually working on Made Woman full-time at the moment. So just wanted to come. And it happened to be during the Olympics. It kind of worked out that way. So, yeah.
Nice. Sounds like a good lifestyle to me. I like that. All right.
Yes.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for being on the show. Like I said, I'm a big fan of the publication, and I hope everyone will check out your Indiegogo campaign. Can you leave us with maybe where we can find you on Twitter, where your website is, maybe where your Indiegogo campaign is?
Yes.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Our website is www.madewomanmag.com. And the Indiegogo campaign is Indiegogo, INDIEGOGO.com/MadeWomanMag. So.
Easy to remember. I like that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And Twitter as well, /MadeWomanMag. We keep it simple.
Awesome. I like it. Well, so you've been watching Made Woman Magazine. We've got Serena and Lindsey on. Thank you both for being on YFE TV. That was a fantastic little chat. So you can find past episodes of Young Female Entrepreneurs, the live stream, at iTunes. And I actually have a bit.ly link set up if you guys want to go to it. It's bit.ly, bit.ly/YFE show. Subscribe to it, rate it, comment so we can spread the love about young female entrepreneurs everywhere. And make sure that you check out Young Female Entrepreneurs next Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern. There's a live chat that happens. You can meet other young female entrepreneurs and find out more about our guests. All right, so you've been watching again Young Female Entrepreneurs. My name's Jennifer Dono. Hope to see you back here next week.